Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Native Echo Podcast, where we make English simple and enjoyable. I am Harper, and today it is just me. No Julian, just you and me sitting together and talking. I love these solo episodes because honestly, they feel a little more personal, a little more quiet, like we are just two friends having a conversation over coffee. So get comfortable and let's talk. Today's topic is feelings, emotions, the words we use to describe what is happening inside us. And I want to start with something honest. When I was learning English, this was actually one of the hardest parts for me. Not grammar, not pronunciation, feelings. Because in my first language, I had so many ways to describe how I felt. But in English, I only knew a few words: happy, sad, tired. That was basically it. And sometimes life is more complicated than those three words. Sometimes you feel something and you cannot name it, and that is actually a strange feeling on its own. Feeling something, but not having the word for it. So today, we are going to fix that together, step by step. Let us start simple. The word happy. I know you know this one, but I want to talk about it a little more because happy is not just one feeling. There are different kinds of happy. For example, there is the happy you feel when you get good news, like when a friend calls and says something wonderful happened. Your heart jumps a little, you smile without even thinking. That is happy. But there is another kind of happy, a quieter one. Imagine a Sunday afternoon, nothing to do, a warm drink in your hand, your favorite music playing softly in the background. Nobody is asking you anything. Nobody needs anything from you. You just exist, peacefully. That quiet kind of happy has a special name. We call it content. 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 When you feel content, you are not jumping with excitement. You are just okay. More than okay, actually. You are peaceful, satisfied. You do not need anything else in that moment. I feel content a lot on Sunday mornings, before the week starts again. Just that small window of time where everything feels just right. Now, the opposite of happy is sad. But again, sad is not just one feeling. Let me tell you about a moment I had last year. I was walking in a park. It was autumn. The leaves were falling, orange and yellow everywhere. It was actually very beautiful, but I felt something strange, a little heavy, a little nostalgic. Nostalgic means you are thinking about the past with warm feelings, like you miss something, but it is a good kind of missing, not painful, just a little bittersweet. Bittersweet is another interesting word. It means something is sweet and sad at the same time, like the last day of a really good holiday. You are happy you had it, but a little sad it is over. That autumn walk was bittersweet, and knowing that word helped me understand what I was feeling. But then there is real sadness. The heavy kind, the kind that sits on your chest when something goes wrong, when you lose someone, when a plan falls apart. That is a deep feeling, and it is completely normal. Feeling sad does not mean something is wrong with you. It means you are human. And here is something important. We often try to push sad feelings away. We say to ourselves, stop being sad, just be positive. But actually, naming the feeling helps more than ignoring it. When you say out loud, I feel sad right now, something in your body relaxes a little because the feeling is real and you are being honest with yourself. There is another word related to sad: upset. Upset is interesting because it sits between sad and angry. If your friend says something unkind to you, you might not feel pure sadness, and you might not feel pure anger either. You feel upset, a little hurt, a little bothered, like your emotional balance got disturbed. Upset is a very useful everyday word. I was upset when my train was canceled. I was a little upset when my favorite cafe closed. It is not dramatic. It is just real. Now let us talk about a feeling that many people find uncomfortable to talk about: anxiety. Being anxious. Anxious means you feel worried and nervous, but not about one clear thing. It is more like a cloud, a low hum of worry that follows you around. I have felt anxious many times in my life, and one of the things that helped me the most was learning this word. Before I had the word anxious, I just felt bad, and I did not know why. But when I finally understood this feeling has a name and millions of people feel it, it became less scary. You are not broken when you feel anxious. You are just feeling a lot at once. Anxious is different from nervous. Nervous is usually about something specific. I feel nervous before a presentation. I feel nervous before meeting someone new. That nervousness is connected to one event. It usually goes away after the event is over. Anxiety is bigger. It can stay even when nothing specific is happening. Both are valid feelings. Both are worth talking about. Let me tell you something that happened to me when I was about 22. I had just moved to a new city. I did not know many people there. I had my apartment, my job, my routines, but something felt wrong. I could not explain it. I was not sad exactly. I was not angry. I was not scared. I was just empty a little. And one evening, I was looking out my window, watching people walk by in pairs, in groups, laughing, talking, and I realized what I was feeling: lonely. I was lonely. And I want to say something about loneliness because I think it is one of the most misunderstood feelings. Lonely does not mean you have no one. You can be surrounded by people and still feel lonely. Loneliness is about connection. That feeling of, does anyone really know me? Does anyone really see me? It is one of the most human feelings there is. And once I named it, once I said to myself, I am lonely, I stopped feeling ashamed of it because there is nothing to be ashamed of. Loneliness is just a sign that you need more connection. It is not a weakness, it is information. After that time in my life, I started reaching out more, calling people, writing letters, and slowly the loneliness lifted. And what replaced it? Something called belonging. That warm feeling of, these are my people, I am home. Belonging is not exactly a common vocabulary word you will see in a textbook, but it is one of the most important feelings. When you belong somewhere, you feel safe, you feel seen, you feel like yourself. Let us talk about a big feeling now: fear, being afraid. I want to be very honest here. I am afraid of quite a few things. Heights, for one. I genuinely cannot stand on a high balcony without feeling my heart speed up. I know logically that I am safe, but my body does not care about logic in that moment. My hands start sweating. My legs feel heavy. My stomach drops. That physical response to fear is very real and very interesting because fear is actually your body trying to protect you. It is not a bad thing by nature. Fear says, be careful, pay attention, something might go wrong here. But sometimes fear is not about physical danger. Sometimes it is about the future, about what might happen. I fear failure sometimes. I fear saying the wrong thing. I fear being misunderstood. These fears are quieter. They live in the background. They whisper. And those are actually the fears worth examining the most because they can stop you from doing things you actually want to do. There is a word I love: vulnerable. To feel vulnerable means you are open. You are letting people see you, really see you. And that can feel scary because when you are vulnerable, you might get hurt. But here is what I have learned: the moments I felt most connected to other people were always moments of vulnerability. When I said something honest that I was afraid to say, when I asked for help when I needed it, when I admitted I was struggling. Those moments felt terrifying before I did them. And then, almost always, the other person said, me too, me too, I feel that way too. And suddenly, we were both less alone. Let me talk about some more positive feelings now, because this episode is not just about difficult emotions, it is about all of them. And one of my favorites is excitement. Excitement is wonderful. It is that fizzy feeling in your stomach when something good is coming. I feel excited before a trip, before seeing an old friend, before starting something new. Excitement has energy in it. When you are excited, you want to talk about the thing. You want to tell people. You cannot stop thinking about it. There is something beautiful about letting yourself feel fully excited about something. Some people hold back their excitement because they are afraid of being disappointed later. But I think that is a shame. Feel the excitement. Let it be real. Another feeling I want to talk about is pride, being proud. There is a difference between being proud of yourself and being arrogant. Arrogant means you think you are better than others. Pride is different. Pride is that warm feeling when you worked hard and you did it, when you pushed through something difficult and you came out the other side. When my little cousin read her first book by herself, she looked up with the biggest smile. That was pride, pure and beautiful. And you can feel proud of other people too. I feel proud of my students when they do something brave with their English, when they try to speak even though they are nervous. That feeling of watching someone grow, it is a special kind of proud. Speaking of bravery, let me talk about courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling afraid and doing it anyway. I find that idea very comforting because sometimes people say, just be brave. And that makes it sound like brave people do not feel scared. They do. They just move forward anyway. Courage is not a feeling exactly, it is an action. But there is a feeling connected to it, the feeling right after you do something brave. Relief mixed with a kind of quiet surprise. I did it. I actually did it. And that feeling is worth chasing. Let me tell you about relief. Relief is one of my favorite feelings because of the contrast it creates. Imagine you have been worried about something for a long time, a medical test result, a difficult conversation you need to have, waiting to hear about a job. The worry sits with you, it follows you everywhere. And then the thing resolves. The news is good, the conversation goes okay, you get the job, and you exhale. Your whole body exhales. That is relief. It is not just happy, it is the releasing of something heavy. And it feels almost physical, like something tight in your chest just loosens. I also want to talk about gratitude, being grateful. I think gratitude is one of the most underrated feelings. We talk so much about happiness and success, but gratitude is quiet and steady. It is available to you even on ordinary days. I feel grateful for my morning coffee. I feel grateful when someone holds a door for me. I feel grateful for podcasts that make me feel less alone. Gratitude does not require anything big to happen. It is just noticing what is already good. And when you practice noticing, you find more and more things worth noticing. There is a specific type of gratitude that I find really powerful. It is the gratitude you feel towards someone who believed in you when you did not believe in yourself. A teacher, maybe, a friend, a parent, someone who saw something in you before you saw it yourself. That feeling, when it washes over you, it is big, it is warm, it almost brings tears, and it makes you want to do the same for someone else someday. Now I want to talk about something a little uncomfortable: jealousy. I think jealousy gets a very bad reputation. People act like feeling jealous makes you a bad person, but jealousy is just information. When you feel jealous of someone, it usually means they have something you want. And instead of being ashamed of that, you can get curious about it. You can ask yourself, what does this jealousy tell me about what I actually want? Maybe you are jealous of a friend who travels a lot. That might be telling you that you want to travel more. Maybe you are jealous of someone's career. That might be pointing you toward what kind of work would really excite you. Jealousy as a compass, not a verdict. I think that is a much healthier way to look at it. Okay, we are getting close to the end of today's episode, and I want to end with something that is not exactly an emotion, but it is related to emotions. and that is the idea of emotional vocabulary. Emotional vocabulary means how many words you have to describe your feelings. Research actually shows that the more emotional vocabulary you have, the better you handle difficult feelings. Because when you can name something precisely, it feels more manageable. There is a big difference between saying, I feel bad, and I feel overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means too much is happening at once and you do not know where to start. That is very specific, and knowing that word can help you find specific solutions. When I feel overwhelmed, I make a list. That helps me because I understand the feeling well enough to know what I need. This is actually one of the reasons I love podcasts like this one, because every episode is expanding your vocabulary, not just English vocabulary, but emotional vocabulary too. And that is genuinely useful, not just for speaking English, but for living. Let me do a quick review of the feelings we talked about today. Happy in a quiet way is content. Sad in a bittersweet, nostalgic way is wistful. Sad and angry together is upset. Long term worry is anxiety. Short term worry before an event is nervousness. Missing connection is loneliness. Being open to someone is vulnerability. Buzzy, energetic anticipation is excitement. Warm self recognition after effort is pride. The release of long held worry is relief. Quiet appreciation for what you have is gratitude. Wanting what someone else has as useful information is jealousy. Having too much to process at once is feeling overwhelmed. And the big lesson of today, all of these feelings are okay. All of them are human. The goal is not to only feel the good ones. The goal is to understand all of them. Because when you understand your feelings, you understand yourself. And when you understand yourself, everything gets a little easier. I want to leave you with one small challenge. This week, try to use one new feeling word every day. Maybe in your journal, maybe in a conversation, maybe just in your own head. If you feel a little nervous before something, say it. I feel nervous. If you feel content at the end of a good day, notice it. Say it. I feel content. The more you practice naming your feelings, the more natural it will feel, and your English will grow at the same time. Two birds, one stone. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really enjoyed this episode. It felt personal and honest, and I hope it felt that way for you too. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to Native Echo Podcast and give this episode a like. It really helps us keep making content for you. And join our WhatsApp community at the link in the description. We share tips, practice exercises, and a lot of good conversations there. I would love to see you there. Take care of yourself, take care of your feelings, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.